Hello, everybody. So, maybe you know our story. The story is that we have a handicapped daughter, and for 5.5 years, she was screaming every night for 3 hours. She would kick and sometimes even bite, and we couldn't function. Like, nobody can function under sleep deprivation. So, what can you do to survive a period where you don't get enough sleep? And for me, I had to work. I had to provide for my family as best as I could. I was working in Copenhagen, which is an hour away from where we were living, in a tiny shed, 180 square feet, with no water or electricity for quite some time. Katrine would sleep in the car sometimes with our daughter so that our son and me could get some sleep. And it was just hell on earth. Uh, I, I, I can't describe how horrible it was. But I survived. And one of the ways that I survived that long period was by power napping. And everybody knows about power napping now. It's basically you get less than 20 minutes of sleep. But what I would do was when I was at work, I was a body worker, working as a body therapist. And then I would have two clients, and then I would have a break of maybe half an hour. And then I would, as soon as my client was out the door, I would go lie on the table and I would put on my headphones and I would put on some specific music, and that specific type of music is something called binaural beats. Binaural beats is when you have two tones that are slightly different and they create a third tone, and that synchronizes your brain's hemispheres. And by using the same music consistently, I would entrain my brain to be able to fall asleep within somewhere around 1 minute to 5 minutes, and I would just switch off and back on. So it's like rebooting your computer. So if you are in a period of time in your life where you are under severe stress, you need some way to recharge your batteries. You need to be able to switch on and off again. And you can do that by power napping. And if you're doing that with binaural beats as well, and I will link in the description my favorite, which is it's a 5 hour long video also here on YouTube, but you only need it for like 16-17 minutes. It takes practice for most people to get used to this, to entrain your brain, to entrain that pattern, to be able to fall asleep so fast. But then I think everybody can do it, and it definitely helped me survive that long period without having a complete mental breakdown. So imagine 3 hours every night with a child that just is screaming, and then not, and she was also like very reactive during the day, where she like, and she still is to this day. We're still working on.
But she sleeps at night now.
She sleeps at night now. But if you can imagine, just somehow slightly imagine not getting any rest during the day or during the nights, and
For 5 years.
for 5 years, this helped me survive. This was the tool that helped me survive all of this. Katrine has used many other tools, and we will talk about that at some other time. So a good pair of headphones is really nice, but a pair of headphones and then these binaural beats, and you just lie down, and for the first long time you're probably not going to fall asleep, but you're just going to close your eyes and rest for a maximum of 20 minutes. So set the timer to 20 minutes. I set mine to 16-17 minutes because that's how fast I can do it. And if if you go beyond the 20 minutes, you're going to get into too deep a sleep. So you'll wake up groggy instead of refreshed. But I would do that 2 hours, 20 minutes of rest, 2 hours of work, 20 minutes of rest, 2 hours of work, and then sometimes 20 minutes of rest. Or if I was at my work, I would actually sleep in a storage room for 2 nights a week, because instead of going home to my family, so I could make money and survive. And
That was really sad. It's so sad to think about that period in our life.
It's both sad, but it's also like a story of, if you look at it differently, like a story of heroism and survival ability and strength. Like so many people have told us that have seen our lives close up, that they could not imagine that anyone could survive what we did
And still be together.
and still be together. Like just regular handicapped families, like special needs families, have a divorce rate of around 80%, and we're still together. So we have many other tricks and tips to how to survive through crises, and we will be sharing those. Yeah. So, but this is power napping, and hit the like button if this tip is useful to you, and we will be giving out many more tips. Thank you.